It is time for Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 KADQ and MyLocalRadio.com. Rebel Sports brought to you in part by the Rich School District, Evanston Regional Hospital, Ready, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, the Come On In, the Station on Main, Les Schwab Plains Tire, Stacy's Repair, Summit Pizza, Little Springs Water, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Ellingford Brothers, Hometown Drive-In, the Town of Woodruff, T7 Propane, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, McKay Frankham DDS, and the Crawford Trough. Let's go to the Les Schwab Plains Tire broadcast booth and join the voice of the Rebels, Aaron Poling.
And we welcome you to Cokeville High School as we are in the first game of the Cokeville Invitational as the Rich Rebels will take on the Star Valley Braves. I'm Aaron Poling. Thank you for joining us early on this Friday morning as we got a jam-packed schedule for you this weekend. And it's all starting off with the Rebels taking on the Braves on the Summit Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll have your Little Springs Water scene set in today's matchup. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at MyLocalRadio.com as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
When pizza is calling your name, order a Summit Pizza. With homemade dough and all fresh ingredients, every pizza is a culinary masterpiece. Owners Thad and Melissa Willis are Rich High School alumni. They continue the Rebel tradition of excellence and service. Feed your taste buds, feel the happiness with a fresh homemade pizza from Summit Pizza. Don't forget the Doodles, a Summit Pizza original creation. Summit Pizza, 70 West Logan Road, Garden City.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels.
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
Welcome back to the Union Broadcast booth as it is time for your Little Springs scene sets on the Summit Pizza pregame show. As set the scene for today's game, the Rebels will be taking on a gauntlet today as they are in the group of death here at Cokeville, as Group C consists of the Rich Rebels, a defending state champ, the Mountain View Buffalo, who are defending state champ, Star Valley, who's a very good squad, and then the wild card for myself anyway, so I don't know much about them, is Grace, Idaho. We looked up their record last year. They finished last year 6-18, but it's an entirely different season, so they could be a different team. You never know. So this is going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be a good day for the Rebels. They're going to get much better as the season as the day goes along, because they're going to play some really good competition. That's all you can ask for in these early season tournaments, as when we come back, we'll have your standout student of the week, Jaden Desch, as he is preparing for the Rebels taking on Monticello later today. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at MyLocalRadio.com as well as on 98.3 KDQ.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
When you need automotive service on your car, truck, semi, or tractor, call Clay and the team at J-Bar Auto in Randolph. J-Bar Auto also offers competitive pricing on tires for all vehicles. Call or stop by J-Bar Auto today.
Here with Jaden Desch, who is our T7 Propane Standout Student of the Week. Jaden, how you doing?
Pretty good.
So you guys, week one under your belt, you guys got a win over Water Canyon. How does it feel in the locker room after a win like that?
Feels pretty good after what Deseret News thought the prediction of the score was, which got us really mad, and so we just went out and played with at our best ability and turned out really good.
So you hauled in 3 receiving touchdowns in the contest. Just talk about what the game plan was for you going in and just kind of what you saw in all 3 of those touchdowns. There were 3 receiving touchdowns, but they were 3 long receiving touchdowns as well.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to have 3 for the first game. I thought I was just going to have probably none, but I surprisingly had 3. The first one, I don't know how I broke away from the tackle. That was crazy, and the others were super long. And yeah, the pass game was great. I hope it connects like that all year.
Yeah, in fact, on the third one, they let you kick the PAT afterwards. You were so winded, right?
Yeah, I was that long one, left, right, freaking from the field. It was crazy, and I was like, I need a break. I can't do it.
All right, so it's the first day of your senior year, man. So what's going through your mind as you walk into school today? It's the first day, and you are officially the oldest on campus.
It's crazy. Like, I remember being really in middle school, and now I'm a senior, and it's so weird. And yeah, walking in those doors, first first day, it's crazy. I'm just excited for the year. I hope it goes by really slow because I just want to make every memory last.
What are you looking forward to most this year?
Well, mainly just sports and just getting a good education.
So, speaking of sports, the football team, it seems like you guys are really close and that a lot of the kids get along really well. What about the team, not necessarily skill-wise, but people-wise, makes it a special team?
Mainly just like Carter and just like our Noah and Riker and just our starting 8 for our team. I love all of them. I love all the football players, and they're all my favorite. I don't necessarily hate anyone on the team. I love all of them. I can't wait to help what they bring up.
Favorite moment from training camp this year?
It was way fun though. Got to spend a lot of time with them this summer for the last time, and yeah, it was way cool.
So your senior year will be successful this year if you do what? Academic-wise or even sports-wise?
Both. Just trying to get a scholarship offer to any D1 school that I can try to get to, or any school but yeah, that's mostly what I'm trying to go for.
We want to thank Jaden Desch for being a part of the T7 T7 Propane Standout Student of the Week interview, as it is all part of the Summit Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from Rich Rebels varsity head coach Danelle Wasden as you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
When you have an emergency, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Open 24/7, the professional emergency room staff is trained for trauma, medical, cardiac, pediatric, orthopedic, and obstetric emergencies. Bear Lake Memorial is a critical access level 3 trauma center, offering immediate access to radiology, lab services, surgery, and internal medicine consults. The ER teams are well-trained professionals who are ready to act. When you have an emergency, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
The team at T7 Propane in Woodruff is always cheering for the Rich Rebels, in sports, in the classroom, and in life. For quality professional propane service, call T7 Propane in Woodruff, 435-793-4208. When you're hungry for an amazing breakfast just like Grandma used to make, visit our bakery on Main Street in Randolph. We hand make fresh pastries for you to enjoy. Supporting the Rich Rebels and thanking you for your business, visit our bakery today.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Here with the Rich Rebels varsity volleyball coach, that's Danelle Wasden. And Coach, you're now 1-0 officially as a varsity coach here at Rich. How does it feel?
Really great. Glad that we're 1-0.
You guys faced a little adversity off the bat for a team last year who, you know, I'm not going to say it went perfectly smoothly because obviously it didn't, but they had a lot of really good moments. How important is it for a team to face adversity throughout the season?
I think it's very important. Our girls, our last game, the coach just kind of threw a curveball at them, and they handled it very well. I was glad to see them keep their heads together and come back and win those next 3 games.
Could you go ahead and talk about the curveball? Because it was an interesting thing, and now that you kind of explained it, like, it all makes sense why things happen that way. But I mean, credit to the girls. They fought back, and they got a very impressive 3-1 victory over a pretty sound Manila team.
Yes, Manila was very sound. They did a great job. Have some good players, and you can see that their programs, it keeps improving, and it's going to be amazing. So we turned in the wrong lineup. Our girls were not in the rotation they were used to be in, and it was hard. They talk about usually it's the coach's fault when you lose and the players when you win, and it was definitely the coach's. It was our fault that we lost that one. So I was very proud of the girls and how they handled that.
I mean, better now than in the future. But as a coach, I mean, even on the human side of it, coaches make mistakes too. As a coach, how can you learn from that mistake?
Definitely, we learn that how do we want to put that rotation in and to double check and make sure it's how we want it. And it's definitely a human thing, probably something we don't want to try again. But you know what? It was, like you said, adversity sometimes is good.
So you guys have a pretty strong week coming up. You guys are going to get quite a few games in, as you'll have Kemmer on Thursday, then the Cokeville tournament Friday and Saturday. First with Kemmer, what are you guys looking forward to for that match?
Just playing the kind of ball that we know how to play and what we've been practicing and work hard. And I believe my girls are amazing, and if they'll come out and play like they should, it'll be a great weekend. So
can you talk about the Cokeville tournament? Because you guys are in a pretty strong group with Mountain View being a state champion and Star Valley being a really solid program. Then, of course, you have Grace, Idaho in your guys' group. Talk about the competition and how much better that tournament can make you as a whole program.
Yeah, so Cokeville tournament's always a great tournament with amazing teams, and I do feel that we were in a tough bracket, but I also feel the girls have come to practice these last 3 weeks and worked super hard, and we're going to go and learn some things, I'm sure, and also see what we can do, see what they can show the other teams. So I'm excited.
So what do you want to see for your guys' team this week?
I'd like to see some good passing. I'd like to see some perseverance and tough serving and just the good fundamental keys. And I believe they can do it.
We want to thank Danelle Wasden for being a part of the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital pregame coaches show on the Summit Pizza Company pregame show. When we come back, we'll have your Ellingford Keys to tonight's matchup as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as on 98.3 KADQ.
When you're experiencing pain from an injury or pain for an unknown reason, it can negatively impact how you function every day. It's good to know that individually supervised physical therapy is available at Evanston Regional Hospital. From athletes to seniors, we assist patients with personalized treatment plans. We offer a broad range of therapies including cardiac rehab, post-surgical rehab, concussion recovery, and sports rehab. Ask your family doctor if physical therapy is right for you or call one of our therapy departments directly. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today, 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
The town of Garden City is home to beautiful Bear Lake, where families play together. We welcome you to Garden City and invite you to visit bearlake.org for places to explore and information on upcoming events year-round. The town of Garden City welcomes you as we cheer on the Rich Rebels.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth, as we are ready for your Ellingford Brothers Keys to the Game. For all your cement, sand, and gravel needs, call Ellingford Brothers in Evanston on the Summit Pizza pregame show. As keys to today's game, once again, the Rebels are playing a team that's their first game of the season, but a much more talented team than they saw last night. Star Valley is usually a handful, very, very solid program out of Afton, Wyoming. I'd say come out, get off to a good start. You don't want to fall behind 4-0 in the first set like they have in the first two games. Falling behind 4-0 to Star Valley could spell catastrophe, as they are a very solid squad. You don't want to fall too far behind. Even though it is their first game, they're going to be very well prepared. As for the Rebels, come out and play volleyball. If they can serve the ball the way that they did last night, obviously you rack up 17 aces, you're probably not going to lose very many volleyball games. But not expecting that many aces, but if you could still put the serves in good spots where Star Valley can't really set up their attack off of the serve, and they have to just bump it over, giving the Rebels a chance to set up their attack on the counter. That's where the serves can really come into play for the Rebels. And that is your Ellingford Brother Keys to the Game, as when we come back, we'll meet your 2023 Rich Rebels varsity squad. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on as well as on 98.3 KADQ.
When pizza is calling your name, order a Summit Pizza. With homemade dough and all fresh ingredients, every pizza is a culinary masterpiece. Owners Thad and Melissa Willis are Rich High School alumni. They continue the Rebel tradition of excellence and service. Feed your taste buds, feel the happiness with a fresh homemade pizza from Summit Pizza. Don't forget the Doodles, a Summit Pizza original creation. Summit Pizza, 70 West Logan Road, Garden City.
You hear that? That's the sound your new water makes just before it gets to your bottle. You see, at Little Spring Water, they don't add a thing. It's the purest, cleanest, and healthiest water you could possibly drink. It's nature in a bottle. Little Spring Water is a family-owned and operated bottled water company right here in Utah. Nestled in a beautiful canyon in Bear Lake, this spring has been in the family for 5 generations, and now it can be in yours as well. It's high-quality premium drinking water packaged in a durable, recyclable bottle that won't spill or crack on you and can be refilled multiple times. No chemicals, no additives, just pure, clean, healthy water. And because Little Spring Water is local, you can get it at a fraction of the cost. Look for Little Spring Water at a grocery store near you. If you don't see it, ask your grocer for it by name. Little Spring Water. It's nature in a bottle.
Hi, I'm Casey Wilson. I am going to be a senior this year, and I will be playing varsity setter.
Hi, my name is Naya Jolly. I'm going to be varsity opposite, which is right side, and I'll be a senior.
I'm Janie Valentine. I'm going to be a senior, and I will be a middle blocker on varsity.
My name is Hannah Scott. I'm going to be a senior, and I am playing varsity outside hitter.
Good, it's your girl Violet Taylor, aka V Swizzle, and this year I'll be playing varsity outside.
Hey, I'm Haiti Pugmeyer. I'm going to be a senior, and I'm playing middle blocker on varsity.
Hey, I'm Brinley Hatch. I'm going to be junior this year, and I play middle blocker.
Hi, I'm Cassie Argyle. I'm going to be a junior this year, and I play outside hitter.
Hi, my name is Leah Peterson, and I'm going to be a sophomore, and I'm playing outside hitter.
Bella Wheeler. I'm a sophomore. I'm probably going to play opposite.
Paige Smith, sophomore, outside hitter.
My name is Tyler Pugmeyer. I'll be a sophomore, and I'm playing middle.
I'm Tess Cornia. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a setter.
I'm Avery Weston. I'm a sophomore, and I play opposite.
I'm Braylon Pugmeyer. I'm a freshman. I'll be playing outside hitter.
I'm Lacey McKinnon, and I'm a freshman, and I'm going to be middle hitter.
I'm Molly Weston, and I'm a freshman, and I'll be playing outside hitter.
I'm Jalen Lutz. I'm going to be a freshman, and I'm a setter.
My name is Lida Taylor. I'm going to be a freshman, and I want to play middle hitter.
My name is Kelsey Heiner. I'm going to be a freshman, and I'm going to be back left.
I'm Chaisley Levitt, and I'm going to be a freshman, and I think I'm going to play JV, in middle hitter.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. That was your team intro brought to you by Little Springs as we go to the starting lineups. Unfortunately, we did not get a starting lineup from Star Valley due to the nature of tournament play. We just got their roster. So let's go over the Rich Rebel starting lineup as it'll be the same one from last night as Paige Smith in for Nia Jolly. Casey Wilson, the senior, standing at 5'4", fouled up by Paige Smith, standing 5'6". Sitting at 5'7", senior number 21, Janie Walentine. Coming in at 5'8", senior outside hitter number 25, Violet Taylor. Standing at 5'8", number 40, senior Haiti Pugmeyer. And to round out the starting lineup, standing at 5'9", number 41, senior Hannah Scott. As we will get you the starting lineup for the Braves when they are on the floor. As we can kind of take an educated guess, as it looks like it's going to be Kenley, Engelhart. I take that back. It's going to be Michaela Christensen, number 40. Number 18, Delaney Brogg. Number 30, Katie Dandridge. Number 35, Shayna Casey. Number 12, Atlee Button. As it looks like that'll be the starting lineup for the Braves. Rebels are in their blues with white numerals, Rebels across the chest, long sleeves that are got a black stripe at about the shoulder, with the rest of it being white. Star Valley, they are in their maroons with the long black sleeves, Lady Braves across the back, yellow numerals, the black outline. As we see that starting lineup, as it is Shayna Casey, Michaela Christensen, Kenley Engelhart, Shayla Frazier, Atlee Button, and Katie Dandridge. Those are your starting six for the Star Valley Braves. As we get one final instruction, the libero, number 18, Delaney Brogg, comes in and replaces Frazier. Dandridge has the ball. The Braves will serve first as we move along to our live cam. First serve in the air. Dug out in the back row by Hannah Scott. Rebels go to the middle of the floor for Pugmeyer. She finds the back corner as we are off to a quick start here for the Rebels, up 1-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As they go to the middle blocker, they did that quite a bit last night, and we talked about it. I think a good analogy for that is in football. Running up the middle, it opens up the passing game, as if you can get a good attack from the middle, that opens up the outside hitters. As Hannah Scott serves it over, they go left wing to Casey down the line. That's going to go out of bounds on the near sideline. 2-0 Rebels early on, as Scott will go back to the service line. For that last play, Ava Ellsworth checked in for Paige Smith. The serve over the net, off the arms, out of bounds. Hannah Scott picks up where she left off after having 6 aces last night. She picks up one here in set number 1, 3-0 Rebels early on. As Scott goes back to the line, lets it go. Dug out in the back row by Engelhart. They go middle of the floor for Christensen. She attacks. Diving effort there from Ava Ellsworth to keep the ball alive, except it goes over the net, out of bounds on the right wing side. Good effort, just couldn't quite keep that in bounds. Braves will go to the line to serve, trailing 3-1. Engelhardt lets it go on the left wing, finds the arms of Pugmire in the back row. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She is blocked. That's going to fall in on the Rebels side right behind Violet as she was landing. Unable to get back, as I believe that was Casey who got her hands on the block. This Star Valley team at the front of the net has a lot of height between Shayna Casey and Michaela Christensen, as Engelhardt serves it over. Hannah Scott digs it out. Rebels go to Taylor again. This time she bumps it down the sideline. Dug out there by Casey. They go near side as Button has an attempt. No good, as Taylor tried to just swat at it. Gets blocked back onto the Rebel side. They play it over. Braves set up the attack. Near side, it's Button. Dug out in the back row by Scott, but it lands on top of the net on the outside of the antenna, as the Braves have tied it up at 3. Going back to the line to serve is Engelhardt. Approaches from the left wing side. Lets it go with the right hand. Hannah Scott with the dig, as Wilson sets up Pugmire on the left wing side. Dug out there by Casey. They go to Button, as Scott's able to dig that out in the back row, as Taylor pops it up over the net. They set up Christensen middle of the floor, but before they do, we have a lift called against the Braves. Rebels retake a 4-3 lead, as they'll send Haiti Pugmire to the line to serve. 4-3 early on. Rebels with the lead. We're here in the first set. Mayor and Pulling want to thank you for joining us on 98.3 as well as online at mylocalradio.com. Pugmire serve, dug out by Button. They're going to go right back to her on the left wing. That's deflected by the front line. Wallenstein got her hands to it, as Ellsworth got to the ball just a little bit late, as we are tied at 4. A little bit of an unfortunate break there for the front line of the Rebels. They got their hands to the ball. It just lands out of bounds. Christensen to serve. Ball over the net. Dug out there by Pugmire. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She attacks. That is blocked. That's going to be hit by Ellsworth as it was going out of bounds. It would have been tough to tell if that was going to stay in or not, as the Braves go up 5-4, as Taylor was blocked again. This front line of the Braves is giving the Rebels some fits at the net, as that serve dug out by Pugmire goes under the net, so that's an ace for Christensen. She'll go back to the line to serve. 6-4 Braves. Couple of dribbles into the routine. Approaches, lets it go with the right hand as Pugmire digs it out. Wilson sets up Taylor on the left wing side. Her attack is down to the floor, as once again the Braves front line got their hands to this one, except it falls in on the Braves side. 6-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard, as Taylor continues her relentless attack from that left wing. This time is rewarded. Casey Wilson steps to the service stripe. Lets it go with the right hand, dug out by Engelhardt. They set up Casey on the right wing side. That's going to go too far out of bounds across that back line, and we are tied at 6s here in the first set, as Casey Wilson will go back to the service stripe. Lets it go. That right hand dug out by Engelhardt. They set up Casey again on the right wing side. This time it's into the net. Didn't get enough of that one. Rebels go back on top 7-6 in what has been a seesaw battle back and forth. It's been a very, very entertaining first, not even half to the set yet, as we are tied 7-6. As Wilson serves. Engelhardt with the dig. They go middle of the floor for Frazier, and that one's going to find the back corner on the right wing side with a great attack there from Frazier. Ties us up at 7. As Taya Johnson will check in for Shayna Casey. Paige Smith in for Ava Ellsworth for the Rebels. As Johnson checks into the game, goes right to the service line. Lets it go. That hits the tape, and nothing the Rebels can do as that falls in front of Hannah Scott. The ball died when it got to the net. Tough break there for the Rebels, as I'll send Johnson back to the line to serve again. 8-7, Braves on top. She approaches. This one again, barely over the net. Good save there by Scott to keep it alive. They go middle of the floor. That's going to be a lift called against the Braves, as Dandridge kind of double hit that. Hit it with her left hand, then her right hand. Sends Violet Taylor to the line to serve. She lets it go down the near sideline, dug out by Engelhardt. Going to go far sideline for Button as she attacks, finds that back corner. as it's 9-8 on the station on main scoreboard. As they call, actually they're going to call a deflection as it went out of bounds off the front line of the Rebels. Serve from Button. Dug out in the back row by Scott. They go to Scott on the left wing. She attacks, finds the arms of Brog. As that will be played over by Engelhardt. Rebels set up the attack. Middle of the floor for Wallenstein. Tried to bump it, instead finds Engelhardt. They go right back to Engelhardt on the left wing as Wallenstein gets a hand to it. As Taylor digs it out. Scott with the attack from the left wing. Brog again digs that out. Go middle of the floor. It's going to have to be bumped over by Frazier as the Rebels look to set up an attack. Wallenstein, middle of the floor, attacks. Good dig there in the back row by Johnson, as this has been a great rally. Middle of the floor for Frazier, dug out by the Rebels in the back row. Scott from the left wing. Nice dig there by Button. As the rally continues, Braves are going to have to just play it over. Dug out by Pugmire. They go Scott, left wing. She tips it over. Good defense there from the Braves, except for Johnson wasn't able to keep it inbounds as it went over the net, and the Rebels win a very hard-fought point there, 9-9 on the station on main scoreboard. As Janie Wallenstein will step to the line to serve. She releases with the right hand, Brog with the dig, as that is played into the net by the Braves. Rebels go on top 10-9. As we said, this was a seesaw back and forth, as neither team is led by more than 3 here in the first set. Wallenstein back to the line to serve, lets it go with that right hand. Dug out in the back row by Johnson. They go far side to Frazier. Her attempt is dug out. Great job by Casey Wilson to play that one back as the Rebels play it over safely. Engelhardt with the left wing attack. Dug out by Scott. Wilson and Engelhardt battle at the net. Falls in on the Braves side as they play it out of bounds as the Rebels win a point there. Credit Casey Wilson as she went up and battled Engelhardt at the top of the mountain. As that ball laid on the net, falls over on the Braves side. They play out of bounds as Wallenstein serves again. Rebels up 11-9. Engelhardt on the left wing. Her attack. Diving effort keeps it alive for the Rebels as that was Taylor with the attempt as Pugmire tried an attack from the middle of the net. Missed hit that one into the net as it's 11-10. Delaney Brog will serve for the Braves. These last few rallies have been really good. A lot of fun. Brog serves. Wallenstein with the dig in the back row. As Taylor's going to push that one over. Braves set up the offense. They go to Christensen, right wing. She unloads on one. Wilson gets her hands to it. Played back to the middle of the floor by Taylor as Wilson's able to safely bump it over. Set up the attack again. Engelhardt on the left wing. That's going to fall in between all 6 defenders as Engelhardt found the perfect spot in the defense to go to. 11-11 on the station on main scoreboard here in set number 1. This is probably the kind of volleyball we're going to see all day for Rich, as once again, after they play Star Valley, they're going to get the defending champs in Wyoming in Mountain View as they go to Pugmire. Her attack, that falls to the floor as Haiti Pugmire makes amends for a miss hit a couple of seconds ago. Pugmire picks up the kill, her second of the contest. They'll send Paige Smith to the line to serve. Sophomore releases it down the near sideline, just out of bounds, as the Braves will tie it right back up, 12-12. As Smith will be replaced by Ellsworth. On the Braves side, Johnson is replaced by Casey. As Dandridge will serve. Middle of the floor, she attacks. Dug out by Scott. She's going to get the attack on the left wing. That's blocked. And that middle block, that combination of Casey and Christensen at that middle blocker spot has really given the Rebels some trouble. That time they're trying to play it over both of them as it was blocked to the floor. Serve dug out by Taylor. Scott's going to play it over. Brog digs it out. They go to Engelhardt on the attempt as Taylor with a nice dig gets back up and is able to play it over. Great play there defensively by Violet Taylor. Here comes another attack. This time it's Christensen. Ellsworth with a diving save. Rebels keep it alive. Played over by Casey Wilson. Brog with the dig. They go to Engelhardt, left wing. She attacks. That's into the net. 4 hits. And let's check that out on the instant replay as Ava Ellsworth with a diving effort to keep that play alive. Rebels pick up the point, 13-13 on the station on main scoreboard as you go back to our live cam. Hannah Scott serves for the Rebels, dug out in the back row by Brog. They go left wing to Casey. She attacks into the net. Rebels retake the lead, 14-13. Largest lead of the set so far has been 3 points, and the Rebels got off to a 3-0 lead. These teams have battled back and forth, with each team taking the lead multiple times, as we're going to have another tie ball game, 14-14, as Scott's serve goes into the net. This sends Engelhardt to the service stripe. She attacks with that right hand, dug out by Hannah Scott. Rebels go to Taylor on the left wing. That's blocked out of bounds as Violet Taylor picks up the kill. That's her third of the contest. As Pugmire serves for the Rebels. Dug out by Button. Ball goes over the net. Rebels on the attack. As they go Wallentine, middle of the floor, she pops it down that far sideline. Good dig by Engelhardt. They set up Button on the near side. Scott's unable to get the ball in the air, as that was a really good placed attack there by Button. We are tied 15-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Christensen will serve on the left wing side. Ball in the air, dug out by Pugmire in the back row. They go to Taylor on the left wing. She attacks, and that hits the face of Dandridge. I don't think she was expecting that attack from Violet Taylor to go as long as it did. That is a kill as well as a headshot for Taylor. 16-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Casey Wilson to serve. Ball in the air over the net. Dug out by Engelhardt. They set a Button on the left wing. Nice dig there by Pugmire. Keeps the ball alive for the moment as none of the Rebels could get to it. Little miscommunication there as Wilson goes diving in to try to save it. 16-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard. It'll be the Braves serve, as they're going to get substitution as Johnson replaces Casey. And for the Rebels, this is an opportunity where they can try to take advantage on that front line. When Shayna Casey comes off the floor, the Braves lose about 6 inches of height on that front line. Serve over as Taylor attacks, looks to take advantage, and we're going to get an into the net call. I believe they're going to call that against Taylor as the Braves go up 17-16. Johnson to serve. Attacks from the middle of the floor. Hits the net, and Hannah Scott kicks the ball in the air. Little wry smile there from Hannah, because they didn't call the kick, but the ball went out of bounds. That's when they blew the play dead. But if you can get away with it, you can get away with it. The Braves would have had a legit argument there as Johnson serves. Scott with the dig. They go to Taylor on the left wing. She pops it over the block. Braves set up. They go to Button on the left wing. Her attack goes, that's actually blocked by Wallentine in the front row. Braves are going to have to bump it over safely. Rebels look to set up the attack. They go Wallentine, middle of the floor. Nice dig there by Johnson. Set up Button on that left wing as Pugmire dives, gets her hands to it. Ball still alive as the Braves are going to have to play it over. They do. Wilson with the dig. Scott's going to bump it back to the middle of the floor. Wallentine will just safely play it over. Engelhardt digs it out for the Braves. They go Button on the left wing. She finds Pugmire in that back right corner. Rebels set up. Taylor on the left wing. That's down the floor. Rebels win a hard-fought rally there. 18-17. They pull back within one on the Station on Main scoreboard. Violet Taylor picks up the kill. She'll go right to the line to serve. Ball in the air, dug out by Brogg. They go right wing side to Button as Wilson gets her hand to it. Paige Smith knocks it over the net as she's back into the game. Dump set attempt, dug out there by Wilson. Nice diving effort to keep the play alive as that's blocked to the front of the net by Wallentine. They go Button on the left wing. This side, she tips it over. They're actually going to call a lift against the Braves. Let's check out the instant replay on that save there as we caught it just a second late as Rebels defense there. Big reason why they tied the ball game up at 18-18 here in set number one. As if you're just joining us, this has been an incredible set of volleyball. Button on the left wing. She finds that's going to be called out of bounds. Rebels go on top, 19-18. Very close play as it was called by the near side flag judge. As Violet Taylor back to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by the Braves. They go middle of the floor attack with Frazier, and that's going to be called in the back corner. The flag pointed in, as I think that one, I thought the other one was closer than that one, but that's also furthest away from my vantage point. 19-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. It's a race to 6 as Brogg serves it over the net. Scott digs it out. They're going to go right back to Hannah Scott on the left wing. Nice dig there by Johnson. They set up Christensen, middle of the floor. Her attack finds Pugmire in that back row. Off the ceiling, good concentration by Casey Wilson to try to play that Wallentine's attack into the net. 20-19 as that ball hit the ceiling beam. Took a weird bounce on Casey. She wasn't able to put the ball exactly where she wanted to for Janie. As we get a little bit of a conversation between the official scorer and the book. As we're going to get a little bit of conversation between the Braves and the officials. This is something we saw quite a bit in the Rebels' first game. You know, first game for coaches, you got to work the kinks out as well. It's first game for players, getting into the rhythm of the rotations. It's a new rotation from last year as there's new players in, old players out. So a lot of it is the players have to get back into the rotation as Brogg serves. Braves up 20-19 in the set. Wilson sets up Scott on the left wing. She plays it down that sideline. Johnson with the dig. They go Engelhardt, 10-foot line. They hit the ceiling. Good adjustment there by Engelhardt to keep it alive as it is a play at the net as Smith pushes it over. They go back to Engelhardt on the left wing. She tips it over. Scott with the dig. Rebels set up the offense. Wallentine, middle of the floor, tips it over. Good read there by Dandridge to keep it alive. Engelhardt from the 10-foot line finds Violet Taylor, middle back row. Scott from the left wing. She attacks. That's too far out of bounds. 21-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Braves go on top by 2. As Brogg will go back to the line to serve. Brogg attacks with that right hand. Dug out in the back row by Wallentine. They go right to Wallentine. We're going to get a lift called against Wilson. 22-19. Biggest lead of the set so far for the Braves as the Rebels look to battle back here. When it was tied 18-18, the Braves have outscored the Rebels 4-1. As that serve dug out by Wallentine. Wilson keeps it alive as Pugmire is going to safely play it over. Braves set up the offense. They go Christensen, middle of the floor, and that is going to be into the net, called against Christensen. As the Rebels pick up the point, 22-20. Actually, no, they called it. Nope, it was against Christensen. As they rolled the ball back over to the Braves side for the serve. Instead, Wallentine gets it back, 22-20. Rebels trail by 2 as Wallentine serve into the net, 23-20. And on the comeback trail, that's a tough pill to swallow. As with that, Johnson and Casey, they're going to swap as Casey comes back in. As this is where the Rebels have to make adjustments as the front line of the Braves got about 6 inches taller with the re-addition of Casey. Serve over the net. Scott with the dig will get the attack as that's blocked by that front line. Braves are able to keep it alive. Played over by Brogg. Smith plays it to Pugmire, who's just going to have to bump it over. Casey with the dig. Set up Engelhardt on the left wing, off of the side of her hand, into the net, 23-21. As they'll send Paige Smith to the line to serve. Smith lets it go. We're going to get out of rotation called against the Braves. 23-22 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As the floor official goes and talks to Michaela Christensen, it looks like her and Casey were out of rotation as she adjusts them again. Paige Smith has the ball in her hand, ready to go. Serves it over off the side of her hand. That goes out of bounds. 24-22 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Braves 1 point away from winning a first set. It'll be up to Kenley Engelhardt. She serves. Ball over, dug out by Ellsworth. They go middle of the floor to Pugmire as she is blocked down to the ground on the side of the Braves as the Rebels will pick up the point. 24-23 as Hannah Scott back to line to serve. Scott approaches, ball in the air over the net, dug out in the back row by Engelhardt. They go middle of the floor to Christensen. She taps it over. Wallentine with the dig. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She attacks, tipped by the front line. Engelhardt digs it out. They go near side to Button. She attacks. That's into the net. They're going to call that a block, actually, for the Rebels as Ellsworth pops it over. Button on the near side. She attacks. Dug out in the back row by Scott as Wilson bumps it over. We're going to get a lift called against Casey, and that's going to do it for us here in the first set. Braves win this one 25-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As when we come back, we'll have set number 2 for you as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as listening in 98.3 KDQ.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our rich rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
After battling the 2-1 score finishes last season, the Rebels will welcome the Monticello Buckaroos to Rich County as they prepare for Week 2. Join me, Aaron Poling, along with Rob Leifson, as we'll have the game on 98.3 as well as online at mylocalradio.com. Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth in the middle of a 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball game online at mylocalradio.com as well. It's on 98.3 KDQ as the Braves win the first set, 25-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As we move along to set number 2, Rebels will open with the service. Scott will do the honors. As the officials are doing their last checks on the floor. As talking it over. As Ellsworth will check back in for Smith. As Ava is the libero in the contest. Scott has the ball in her hand. Still awaiting on the final checks from the official. Whistle blows. Ball is in the air. Scott with the right hand. Dug out in the back row by Button. They go to Engelhardt on the left wing. That's blocked at the front of the net by Wilson. The Rebels go to Taylor, who has to bump it over safely. Braves go Engelhardt, left side. They're going to call into the net against the Rebels. 1-0 Braves early on here in set number 2. As that'll send Dandridge to the line to serve. Attacks with the right hand, dug out by Scott. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She is blocked. Wallentine plays it over. Taylor's able to tip it away from the block. Good defensive play there from the Braves to keep it alive as Brogg plays it over to Ellsworth. Rebels set up the attack as Pugmire, her attack blocked, and Wilson trying to save it, hits it under the net. 2-0 Braves early on. This set would be a good chance for the Rebels to bounce back as they played pretty well in that first set. Just unfortunately, it did not go their way. Ball over the net, dug out by Taylor. Takes a weird bounce off her hand over the stand judge, off the wall, out of bounds. 3-0 Braves early on as Dandridge will go back to the line to serve. Was a good opportunity to bounce back after a set loss. As that hits the tape, that's going to fall in front of Taylor. Nothing she could do about that one, as that ball had just enough velocity to hit the net and get over the top, fall in for an ace. Rebels trail 4-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Englehart make that Dandridge goes to the line to serve. This one's into the net. Rebels pick up the point, and they'll pick up the serve. 4-1. They trail by 3 as they'll send Haiti Pugmire to the line to serve. Pugmire with the left hand. Lets the serve go. That hits the net. Good dig there by Englehart as Christensen attacks. That hits the top of the net, bounces back on the side of the Braves. Rebels pick up the point on the miss hit. 4-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard with Pugmire going right back to the line to serve. Serve is in the air off the left hand of Pugmire. Button plays in the back row. They set up Casey as she is blocked by Wilson. That goes a little too hard out of bounds across the sideline, as when Shayna Casey attacks that ball, she hits it really hard. Enough velocity there to bounce off Casey Wilson on the far side all the way across out of bounds on the near side. Rebels dig out the serve. They go to Taylor on the left wing. She punches it over with that left hand. Good dig out there by Dandridge. They set up Wallenstein middle of the floor. Finds Dandridge again. She lifts it high as Button will attack from the left wing. That's going to fall in front of Hannah Scott. 6-2 Rebels on the Station on, or excuse me, 6-2 Braves on the Station on Main scoreboard. This sends Englehart to the line. Running jump serve in the air, dug out by Taylor. As Wilson tries to set up Wallenstein, does a good job getting to the ball. As it'll fall in, 7-2 Braves. As Wallenstein couldn't quite get enough of that ball. Had to chase it down on that right wing side. Unfortunately, a little too far for her to be able to play it. Serve over the net. As Taylor's just going to push it over. Englehart with the dig. As they go to Button, her attack finds Hannah Scott. As the Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing side, off the front line, out of bounds. Violet Taylor picks up her 6th kill of the contest. 7-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Casey Wilson back to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Brogg. Middle of the floor, Christensen. Her attack tipped off the front line. Hannah Scott with the dig. Back to Taylor, who unloads on the ball as that goes. Actually, we call into the net against the Braves as Casey Wilson will go back to the line to serve. Rebels pull within 3 as Wilson lets the serve go. 7-4 the score. They set a Button on the left wing. She attacks. That hits Paige Smith off the antenna out of bounds as Paige Smith nearly got a block there. They'll send Christensen to the line to serve. She'll attack. Ball over the net, dug out by Pugmire. As they set up Taylor on the left wing, she attacks off the hands, pushed over by the Braves. Rebels looking to set up an attack. Smith gets an arm to it as Wilson lays out, keeps it alive. Braves set up the attack with Casey. Paige Smith with the dig. Ball middle of the floor as it's bumped over by Wilson. Braves on the attack, Button on the right wing. Finds the hardwood on the near side. As you can see that ball coming right down the barrel of the lens, 9-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Ball hit with enough accuracy to bounce off the wall and go down the stairwell right in front of us. That's the delay in the game as Christensen finally gets the ball back. She attacks on the serve. Pugmire digs it out as they go to Wallenstein, middle of the floor attack. Dug out there by Christensen's going to fall in on the on the Brave side, so Wallenstein gets the kill. Her 2nd of the contest. Violet Taylor will go to the line to serve. Ball in the air. Dug out in the back row by Button. They go left wing, blocked by Wallenstein. As you can hear the thud on that one. As Englehart plays it over, Wilson digs it out. They go to Wallenstein. We're going to get a lift call against Smith. 10-5 on the scoreboard. Rebels have been doubled up by the Braves as they trail 1-0 in sets as well. Make that Casey out, Johnson in for the Braves. As Johnson right to the line to serve. Ball in the air, dug out by Wallenstein. As they go to Scott on the left wing, she attacks down the sideline and in. For Hannah Scott's second kill of the contest. As like we talked about, when Casey comes out of the game for this Braves team, their front line gets a lot shorter. As Wallenstein serves, ball over the net, dug out in the back row by Johnson. They go Engelhardt, who's going to tip it over as Pugmire gets a fingertip to it. Rebels dig it out. Scott on the attack. That's blocked out of bounds as Scott picks up a kill. Rebels pull within 3, 10-7 on the station on main scoreboard as they send Wallenstein back to the line to serve. Lets it go. Ball in the air. Dug out by Brogg. As it'll be played over by the Braves. Diving up from Smith keeps it alive as Pugmire finds the hardwood. What a play by Paige Smith. As we check it out on the Stacey's Repair instant replay, Smith dives, keeps it alive, gets an assist on the play as Pugmire kills it with a quick attack. Rebels pull within 2 as we go back to our live cam, 10-8. As Wallenstein serves, Brogg. That's off her arms, out of bounds. Janie Wallenstein picks up the ace and the Rebels are within 1. This has been a seesaw affair, back and forth in that first set. The first set, in fact, ended 25-23. Braves with the win in that set 1. As the Rebels looking to bounce back here in set 2. Wallenstein, her serve over. They set up middle of the floor. That is into the net called against the Braves, I believe. As they'll send Wallenstein back to the line, 10-10 on the station on main scoreboard here in set number 2. Rebels have battled all the way back. Wallenstein looking to keep the momentum going. Her serve is going to be another ace as that hits Engelhardt in the shoulder. Goes out of bounds across that back line. 11-10 Rebels. As Wallenstein back to the line to serve. She has 2 aces in the contest. Remember, the Rebels exploded for 17 last night, and unfortunately for Janie, she was the only player without one. She leads the team today with 2, as that one just misses that far sideline. 11-11 as the Braves tie it back up. Button to the line to serve. She attacks from the left wing. Finds the arms of Taylor. Rebels are going to have to just bump it over with Pugmire. Brogg with the dig. They set up the attack to Engelhardt, and that goes too far, out of bounds, as Paige Smith does a nice job right there of letting that ball go. It wasn't out by very much, but it was out by enough for the Rebels to pick up the point, as Smith will go to the line to serve. She lets it go. Dug out in the back row as they attack quickly. That's going to be out of bounds across that back line, as it was Dandridge trying to dump set just a little too far. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Braves as the Rebels have stormed all the way back to take a 13-11 lead. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious, and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Stars broadcast booth. In the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebel varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ. Rebels trailed 7-2 at one point in this set. They now lead 13-11. It's been back and forth between these two teams. That first set ending 25-23. As the Braves picked up their biggest lead of the set when they took a 4-point lead at 22-18. Paige Smith will go back to the line to serve as the Rebels have the ball and look to get the play back underway. Braves took a timeout before the break. Smith serve, dug out in the back row by Johnson as they go to Engelhardt, and she buries that one in between all 6 defenders in the middle of the floor. 13-12 on the station on main scoreboard. It'll be the libero, Brog, to serve for the Braves. Ball over the net, dug out by Scott. Rebels set up, Scott on the left wing. She attacks, and that is in as it lands on the line right in front of the flag judge on the near side, Bella Wheeler. As the Braves pick up the point, and guess what? We're tied again. 13-13 as Brog lets it go over the net. Dug out by Taylor. Rebels go to Pugmire, middle of the floor. She tips it over, diving effort to keep it alive by Engelhardt as Christensen finds the hardwood, middle of the floor. The angled attack. Something very similar to what Violet Taylor got called for a lift last night on the very final play, or the second to last play of the game, as that serve goes into the net as all is right in the world, 14-14. As it's a real fine line when a player has the ball on the palm of their hand for a split second. As it's something that Violet does quite a bit, actually, as Scott attacks. Dug out in the back row. They go to Christensen, middle of the floor. She attacks out of bounds on the near sideline. 15-14 Rebels on top. But if you can get away with it, by all means, I'm a big believer in sports. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Obviously, there are exceptions to that. But, you know, if you can get away with a little bit of a lift, why not try it if the refs are allowing it, as Christensen's going to attack from the right wing. Dug out by Ellsworth. As Wallenstein plays at the middle of the floor, Casey Wilson safely over the net. Braves look to set up the attack. This time to go to Christensen. Same thing as this one is off the arms of Taylor, out of bounds. 15-15 on the station on main scoreboard as Christensen tried to find that sideline. Taylor got her arms to it, but unfortunately couldn't get around the ball. As once again, we are tied here in set number 2. Dandridge will attack. Scott with the dig as Wilson dumps that. Good play there by Casey Wilson. As she just tips that ball over into the no man's land in between all 6 defenders. 16-15 Rebels on top on the station on main scoreboard. As Pugmire, her serve dug out in the back row by Button. They go to Engelhardt near side as that hits the arms of Ellsworth, bounces around on the ceiling a couple times. Rebels are able to play it over. Good concentration there. Engelhardt again on the attack, this time off of Wallenstein's hand. I think that stayed in bounds. Regardless, it's a point for the Braves and another kill for Engelhardt. Engelhardt picks up the kill. We'll go right to the line to serve. 16-16 on the station on main scoreboard. Ball over the net, dug out by Pugmire. They go to Taylor on the left wing side. Her dig is, or excuse me, her attack dug up, blocked down by Casey Wilson, and she lets out a roar as the Rebels go back on top. 17-16 here in set number 2. Wilson back to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out, played over the net on one hit. Rebels look to set up the attack. Taylor on the left wing, that's blocked down by Christensen. She gets a hand to it, keeps it alive. Ball played over. Rebels on the attack. Wallenstein middle of the floor. Engelhardt with the dig in the back row. Set up Button on the left wing as Pugmire moves to her right to save the ball. Rebels are going to play it over safely, as that was Wilson. They set up Button on the left wing. She just taps it over. Rebels on the attack. Taylor, left wing. She just pushes it over, and it falls in on the Braves side as she tries that one-handed swat. She did it a couple times last night. This time it falls in. I feel like sometimes when she feels like she can't wind up without going into the net, that's how she gets around that, as Casey Wilson's serve is going to go too long out of bounds. 18-17, Rebels up by 1. That brings Christensen to the service line as Shayna Casey back into the game for the Braves. Her serve is going to go out of bounds as Casey Wilson plays a little dodgeball there to get out of the way of that one. 19-17 on the station on main scoreboard as Violet Taylor will go to the line to serve. Over the net, dug out by Engelhardt. Middle of the floor attack, blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds as Scott got her hands to that one. It goes off her hands, careened straight left across that sideline on the Braves side, 19-18. Rebels up by 1 as Casey's going to check out. Johnson's going to check in for the Braves as Johnson attacks the serve. Just barely over the net. Good save by Wallentine to keep it alive. They set up Button. That's on top of the net. Rebels play it. Go back to the middle of the floor for Wallentine, who pushes it over. Johnson with the dig. They set up middle of the floor for Frazier, and she's going to find the hard one in that back right corner, and we are tied at 19. Another race to 6 between the Rebels and the Braves. Very similar to how the first set ended up playing out. This is where the Braves went on a little bit of a run as they went on a 4-0 run after the game was tied 19-19. Taylor with a diving dig. Braves looking to set up the offense. They go to Button on the left side. Wilson with a nice dig in the back row. Smith sets up Scott on the left wing. That's off the net, gets over, dug out by Brogg. Button on the left wing, she'll attack, finds Violet Taylor back row. Scott, she's going to attack from the left wing, tipped by the front line as Engelhardt comes flying in to save it. Couple of Braves nearly collide as that goes out of bounds on that far sideline as Frazier got her arm to it, played it backwards. Rebels go up by 1 with Wallentine to the line to serve. Wallentine, dug out by Engelhardt. Middle of the floor for Button. Smith with the dig. As dump set there from Pugmire causes a couple issues for the Braves defense, but they're able to play it over. Rebels set up the attack. Scott left wing. That's deflected high in the air by that front line. Pushed over. We're going to get into the net, called against the Braves. Rebels go up 2, 21-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard with Wallentine back to the line to serve. Last serve she was from the right side. This serve from the left side as she lets it go. Brogg digs it out as it's punched over by the Braves. Rebels look to set up the attack. Scott's going to have to bump it over. Can't do so as she plays it into the net. 21-20 as the Braves with the serve, sending a Button to the line. Button attacks, lets it go as Taylor slipped. And when she slipped, the ball hit her arms and went completely sideways off that wall. Not really much the Rebels can do there as that's going to fall for an ace for Button. And we're tied 21-21. Taylor digs it out. Wilson sets up Scott. Left wing attack. That's blocked in the air and onto the side of the Rebels. Braves go up 22-21. As Button will go back to the line to serve. We're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels. As you were watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in 98.3 KDQ. More after this.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as Button will serve. Played over the net. Wallentine with the dig. Rebels trail by 1 as Smith taps it over. Braves setting up the offense as they go Engelhardt on the left wing. That's going to fall in as I believe Smith got her hands to it, deflected it towards the middle of the floor. Rebels unable to get there. 23-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard. If the Rebels want to make a move, they have to do it now. Button to the line. Serve over the net, dug out by Scott. As Wilson sets up Scott on that left wing. That's tipped at the front of the net. Into the net called against the Braves as the Rebels pull back within 1, 23-22 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This sends Paige Smith to the line to serve. Ball over the net. Dug out in the back row by Johnson. Middle of the floor for Frazier. She plays it over. Taylor with the dig. Rebels go to Scott, left wing, taps it over. Diving effort to keep it alive by the Braves. They're going to have to bump it over. Smith with a dig in the back row. They go Pugmire, middle of the floor. She attacks. Brogg hits it off the ceiling, takes a deflection. Braves do a good job keeping it alive as a diving effort from Violet Taylor keeps the ball in the air. Pugmire's going to have to play it over. Rebels live to fight another play. They set up Engelhardt, left wing. She taps it over, and that's going to fall in front of the Rebels back line on that right wing side, 24-22, as Ava Ellsworth's going to check in for Paige Smith. Another timeout called by the Rebels, but we're going to stay right here as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KEDQ. We want to thank you for joining us here early in the morning. As it's a real early start here in Cokeville. It's been an incredible match so far. Rebels trail 1-0 in sets, trail 24-22 in the set number 2, as they're going to have to battle back. They're going to have to do something that hasn't really happened so far in this match very often. 3 straight points by a team, as it's been a lot of back and forth, but the Rebels have already done it here in the set. Opportunity here for Rich in the weekend, as they're going to play some really talented volleyball teams today, starting with the Star Valley Braves. They'll get the Mountain View Buffaloes later in the contest. Once again, they are the defending 2A Wyoming State champs. And then later in the day, they will get Grace, Idaho. That serve dug out by Taylor. They go Scott left wing. She bumps it over to that back corner as Johnson was sneaking up. Good defense there by the Braves. Christensen plays it to the back wing. Scott plays it in the air as Ellsworth's going to have to play it over backwards, able to do so. Braves set up the attack. Left wing, Engelhardt, that is going to fall in as it deflected off the front line to the middle of the floor. All the Rebels are moving one way. The ball got deflected back the other way, and that'll do it for us here in set number 2 as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on 98.3 KDQ.
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
With the title defense underway, the Rich Rebels hit the road for an early season test. They take on the Kemmer Rangers Thursday night at 6 p.m. The tough sledding continues as the Rebels travel to the Cokeville Invite, where they will play the Star Valley Braves in the opener at 8 a.m. Stay tuned for day 2 of the tournament, as we'll have every single Rebels match from day 2 of the Cokeville Invite. This is Aaron Poling inviting you to catch all of these games on 98.3 KDQ, as well as on mylocalradio.com. Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Rebels with some work to do. They trail 2-0 in sets, as we got to change the station on main scoreboard. Braves on top. 2-0 in sets as they win the last one, 25. As it's been a very competitive match so far. Rebels are down 2-0 in sets, but they've played pretty well, all things considered, as we head to set number 3. Braves up 2-0 in sets as they'll get the ball to serve. Rebels looking to respond here. Obviously, to come back, you have to win the first one. Rebels can get one under their belt. It'll be good going forward. Obviously, it keeps the match going. Well, this is a very good Star Valley squad. As this is probably better than most teams that the Rebels will see in 1A. And that's what you love about the Cokeville Invitational, is you're going to play some good competition. We talked about it all morning, as the Rebels are going to get Star Valley. They're also going to get the defending 2A state champs in Mountain View later in the day, and then Grace, Idaho as well, as they'll play 3 games today. And by the end of the day, we'll be able to find out what their schedule looks like for tomorrow. We'll have every single Rich Rebel volleyball game tomorrow on 98.3 KDQ, as well as online at mylocalradio.com. Ball in the hand of Katie Dandridge as she serves. Ball over the net. Dug out by Taylor. They go middle of the floor where Wallenstein bumps it over. Braves on the attack. They go Christensen, middle of the floor. That's blocked in the air by Scott. Rebels on the attack. They go to Scott as she pushes it over. Nice read by Dandridge as she was waiting for the ball. Engelhardt attacks from that 10-foot line. That's too far across that back line, out of bounds. Rebels go on top 1-0 here in set number 3. Hannah Scott will be the first server of the set for the Rebels. She attacks, played in the air. Brog with the dig. They set up Engelhardt on that left wing side. That is too far out of bounds as the Rebels go up 2-0 as Engelhardt smoked that ball. Ellsworth tried to get her arms to it. It's a good thing she didn't, as that ball landed about 2 feet past near sideline. Send Scott back to the line to serve. Ball over net. Braves set up Casey on the left wing. She tips it down the line as it's dug out. Casey Wilson with the dump set. She does a very good job disguising when she does the dump set. Instead of using 2 hands, she pretends like she's going to set up a teammate, as she is the setter for the Rich Rebels, and just flicks it over with 1 hand. Not a lot of time to react as Scott, up 3-0, serves into the net. Actually, that goes under the net, 3-1, and she didn't quite get all of that one. They'll send Engelhardt to the line to serve. She'll attack from the left-hand side. Couple dribbles of the ball. Jump serve with the right hand. Dug out by Hannah Scott, middle of the floor. As they go Pugmire on the left wing side, or right wing side actually, and that's not going to be returned as a couple of Braves got to the ball. Rebels throw in a wrinkle there, have Haiti Pugmire as the opposite hitter. She cashes in before going to the line. 4-1 Rebels on top here in set number 3. Rebels need this one if they want to continue the match. Brog gets the dig. Couple of Braves run into each other as they're going to safely play it over. Rebels on the attack, middle of the floor to Wallenstein. That's blocked. And unfortunately, it's blocked off of Ellsworth, out of bounds. And she took the brunt of that one. It looked like it caught her up high in the head. She appears to be no worse for wear, as Frazier's going to replace the libero Brog. Christensen to serve. Right-handed serve over the net. Dug out by Pugmire. As they go to Taylor on that near side. That finds the back line as Violet Taylor picks up her 9th kill of the contest. 6-2, Rebels on top. I lied, make that 5-2. Sends Wilson to the line to serve. She attacks. Dug out in the back row by Button as they set up Casey, and she crushes that ball down the near sideline. 5-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As after she picks up the kill, she'll be replaced by Johnson. Johnson's going to serve for the Braves. Johnson attacks. Dug out by Pugmire. Set up Wallenstein, middle of the floor. Tips it over with that left hand. Button digs it out. As a dump set there from Dandridge falls in. 5-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. She did a good job there disguising the set. Tips it over, falls in. Braves back within 1. Johnson serves again with the right hand. Dug out by Pugmire. As they set up Wallenstein, middle of the floor, she taps it over. Brog picks it out in the back corner. As an attack from Button was blocked by the Rebels, but it falls in on their side. 5-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Sending Johnson back to the line. 3-0 run for the Braves since it was 5-2. Johnson serve hits the net. Pugmire does a good job keeping it alive. Rebels play it over the net. Dug out in the back row by Johnson. As Smith is going to be called for the lift as that ball went over the net. I don't think she was expecting it to come down. 6-5 Braves on the Station on Main scoreboard. Johnson with a serve. Dug out in the back row by Scott. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She flips it over with that left hand. It's going to fall. As it's a little deceptive move there from Violet as she loads up like she's going to launch it with the right hand, just kind of slaps at it with the left. was able to find the middle of the floor. 6-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Taylor's serve over the net, dug out by Brog. So they go to Button on the left wing side, off of the hands of Wilson, out of bounds. Tried to lift that one in the air. 7-6 Braves. So that'll send Button to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Wallentine. Go to Scott on the left wing. She attacks, finds Button in that back row. Set up Engelhardt left wing, and that's going to be down for a kill. As Hannah Scott did all she could to get out of the way of that one, as that was a headhunter right at her shoulder. 8-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Button serves, dug out by Scott. The Rebels go to Scott on the left wing. She plays it down the sideline. That's going to fall in on that back corner. 8-7. Rebels pulled in one. It's the fourth kill for Hannah Scott, as Wallentine will serve. She approaches, lets it go. Dug out in the back row by Johnson. Engelhardt to attack. Tipped high in the air by the front line. Smith sets up Pugmire. Dug out by Button in the middle of the back row. Engelhardt from the left wing. Blocked by Pugmire, out of bounds. As that ball went back over the net across the near sideline. Landed on the Brave side. 9-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Christensen back into the game. Brog to serve. Ball over the net. Dug out by Taylor. Scott from the left wing attacks as Johnson in self-defense puts her hands up, gets the dig. They go back to Scott. She tips it farther down that right sideline. Nice play there by Button to keep it alive. Engelhardt from the 10-foot line goes into the net. 9-8. Rebels pull back within one. Once again, Rebels absolutely need this set if they want to continue. As Smith goes to the line to serve. They trail 2-0 in sets. Very competitive match. A lot closer than the 2-0 set score would tell you. As Engelhardt attacks, Smith with the dig. So they go to Scott, left wing side, pokes it over, dug out there by Johnson. They go left wing for Engelhardt, and she finds the hardwood on that right wing side. And she picked out the spot in the defense where the Rebels weren't. As we're going to get a substitution, as Casey checks back in for Johnson. And this is where the Braves' front line is probably at its strongest. It's definitely at its tallest. As Danger's serve, dug out by Scott. So they go to Scott on the left wing, and she tries that front line. It's going to fall in as Scott picks up the kill. Despite the height advantage that the Braves probably have in the front line there, the Rebels have not been afraid to attack them. Scott will serve, ball over net. Brog with the dig. Danger sets up Christensen, middle of the floor. That is blocked down on the Rebels side as Pugmire got her hands to that one as well. In-house scoreboard. There, they change it to 11-9 now. As the Rebels set up Taylor. We're going to need a lift call against Wilson. 12-9. Braves up by 3. As they send Engelhardt to the line. She attacks on that left wing side. Ball over net. Scott with the dig. Set up Taylor on the left wing. She drills one down the line. Good dig there. As Pugmire just taps it over. Nice reflex there by Brog to keep it alive. Button has her attempt deflected, and they're going to call it into the net against the Rebels. 13-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Braves up by 4. Engelhardt to attack. Lets it go. Scott with a dig. Rebels set up Taylor. She slaps that one over. Engelhardt digs it out. They set up Button on the left wing side. Hannah Scott with the dig in the back row for the Rebels. Middle of the floor to Pugmire with the left hand. Brog diving effort keeps it alive. Set up Casey down the sideline. Nice dig there by Ellsworth to keep it alive. Rebels look to attack as Taylor gets the kill. Let's check out that play by Ava Ellsworth on the Stacy's Repair instant replay as she had to lean far to her left to keep that alive. Go back to our live cam. Rebels trail by 3, 13-10. As Taylor picks up her 11th kill of the match. Middle of the floor, Christensen. She tips it over. None of the Rebels were able to get to that one. Crafty play there by Christensen, 14-10 on the station on main scoreboard. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels. And with that, we're going to take a break. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Buying or selling real estate can be fun, especially when you have a realtor that's working hard on your behalf. Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty have unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise. The team at Bear Lake Realty will work to get you the best price. Whatever you're looking for, buying or selling, residential, commercial, year-round living, half shares, quarter shares, or income property, hire the best real estate company, Bear Lake Realty. Log on today, bearlakerealty.com.
It's time for the Bear Lake Fan Cam. When you need a realtor, whether you're buying or selling, hire the best, Gary McKee and Bear Lake Realty. Log on today at bearlakerealty.com. That's bearlakerealty.com. As we're back underway with Christensen at the service line, Taylor keeps it alive as that takes a weird deflection off the hands of Button. Braves able to save it. Rebels set up the attack. Taylor on the left wing finds the arms of Engelhart. Braves set up their own attack with Button as Scott digs that out in the middle of the back row. Taylor, left wing, tried that left-handed swat as we're going to get into the net. Called against the Rebels, I believe Violet Taylor, 15-10. Braves on top. Christensen to the line to serve. That's into the net, 15-11. As it'll put Casey Wilson in the server spot as Paige Smith checks in for Ava Ellsworth. Wilson serve, dug out in the back row by Button. Casey had to adjust to that set, and as she did, she hit that ball sideways across the net as it'll be 4 hits called against the Braves. The ball bounced off of Dandridge's hands. I think it went a little further back than she wanted it to. 15-12. Rebels serve with Wilson. Set up Button on the left wing side as Smith got her fingertips to it. That deflected it away. 16-12 as Johnson checks back in for Casey on the Brave side. Casey goes right to the line to serve. On the left wing side, right-handed serve, dug out there by Pugmire. As they go middle of the floor to Wallentine, who tips it. Braves able to get to it for the moment as it falls in. Wallentine from the middle of the floor finds that back right corner. Johnson got her arms to it, but unfortunately unfortunately for the Braves, they couldn't get to the ball. As that was a great defensive play by Johnson to keep it alive for the moment. Real crafty attack from Wallentine brings the Rebels within 3. Ball over net, Button on the attack from the right wing side. Taylor digs that out. Middle of the floor for Wallentine, just bumps it over. Braves set up. Middle of the floor, Frazier finds the arms of Taylor in the back row. Wilson plays it to Wallentine, who attacks from the middle of the floor just a bit too far across that back line, out of bounds. As the ball missed by about 1.5 feet. 17-13, Braves on top. Button serve over the net, dug out by Taylor. Rebels set up Scott on the left wing. Doesn't jump, still attacks it over the net. Braves have trouble with it, are able to clear it. As the Rebels have a miscommunication and that falls in. As in the back row between Taylor and Pugmire, they're both kind of pointing to each other. As the serve by Button played over. They set up Wallentine, middle of the floor attack. She finds Button, dump set there. Good read by the Rebels and Wilson to keep that alive. Ball over net, Braves on the attack. As Frazier plays it down the sideline where nobody was. As they're going to call that inbounds on the Rebels side, 19-13. 6 points being the biggest margin of lead for either team, as this has been a very competitive match. Ball played over, dug out there by Taylor. Scott will attack on the left wing. Johnson reads that well, digs it out. They go to Engelhart on the left side. Taylor digs it out, and it falls in on the other side. What a play that was, as we'll check that out on the Stacy's Repair replay. as that ball was laced by Engelhardt. Taylor got her arms to it. It goes over the net, falls in. Unorthodox kill number 12 there for Violet Taylor as Wallenstein will serve. That's going to go too far out across that back line, out of bounds. Braves are 5 points away from winning this one, 20-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Christensen checks in for, or I take that back, as Brogg checks in for Frazier. Her serve goes out of bounds. Dueling service errors give the ball right back to the Rebels. They trail by 5 as Smith will go to the line to serve. Smith on the attack. That right hand, ball over, dug out by Button. They go left wing side to Engelhardt. She plays it into the net. Falls in on the Brave side. Rebels pick up the point, 20-16. As Smith will go back to the line to serve. Serve over the net. Dug out by Johnson. As Dandridge sets up Engelhardt, she's going to have to slap it over with her left hand. Violet Taylor digs that out, middle of the back row. Scott on the attack from the left wing, off the front row and down on the Brave side. That's the 6th kill of the game for Hannah Scott, 20-17. Rebels pull within 3. Smith to serve. Ball over, dug out by the Braves. As they go Christensen, she attacks too far out of bounds across that back line. 20-18. Rebels now within 2. Christensen got a running start into that ball, and she laced one. It's a little too hard as Johnson with the dig. They're going to go to Engelhardt on that right wing. That's going to be on the back line. 21-18. Braves pick up a point. They're within 4. As Casey replaces Johnson in the lineup for the Braves, sending Dandridge to the line to serve. 21-18. Braves on top by 3. They lead 2-0. If the Rebels want to keep this game alive, they're going to have to make a move now. Dandridge serve, dug out by Ellsworth. As it's going to be bumped over by Pugmire. Set up an attack, Engelhardt down the sideline that hits Ellsworth, goes out of bounds as Engelhardt picks up another kill. 22-18 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As we're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels sideline as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in at 98.3 KDQ.
Whether you're recovering from an injury, just had surgery, or you're dealing with a chronic condition, Evanston Regional Hospital Physical Therapy will help you every step of the way to reach your goals and get back to doing what you love. In addition to the top-of-the-line facilities, we are the only physical therapy clinic in Southwest Wyoming with a full-size therapy pool and spa for aquatic-based treatment. Call today to schedule an appointment. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we're in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on 98.3 KDQ. 22-18, Rebels trail in the set. They trail 2-0 in the match as the Braves will serve. Ball over the net from Dandridge, dug out by Taylor. They go Scott, left wing attack. Nice dig there by Brogg to keep it alive. Engelhardt from her left wing spot. That is going to be too far out of bounds as the Braves are calling for a tip. I don't think that ball was tipped. Pulls the Rebels within 3. Brings Hannah Scott to the line to serve. She attacks. Ball over net. Dug out by Brogg. Go middle of the floor to Christensen, and she winds up, fakes it, taps it over. Crafty play there from Christensen. 23-19. Braves on top. That sends Engelhardt to the line to serve. Ball over the net. Pugmire able to dig it out as Taylor tried to come from her left or from her outside hitter spot to the middle of the floor to get that one over. Couldn't quite get there as the serve kind of discombobulated the Rebels. Match point is in the hand of Engelhardt as she serves it over the net, dug out by Scott. Wilson sets up Taylor, left wing, she attacks. Nice dig there by Dandridge as Engelhardt's going to have to play it over. 2 hands from the back row. Rebels set up the attack. Taylor on the left wing, that's deflected. Good concentration by Brogg to keep that alive. They go Button on the left wing, and she finds the hardwood As that'll do it for us here in match number 1 of the day. The Braves beat the Rebels 3-0 in sets in a very spirited contest. As I'm Aaron Poling, thank you for joining us. When we come back, we'll have your Independent Software Solutions post-game show as you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
After battling the 2-1 score finishes last season, the Rebels will welcome the Monticello Buckaroos to Rich County as they prepare for Week 2. Join me, Aaron Poling, along with Rob Leifson, as we'll have the game on 98.3 as well as online at mylocalradio.com.
We're off to the rodeo. My Local Rodeo is proud to bring you live streaming coverage of high school rodeo from Utah and Wyoming, as well as the Intermountain Icebreaker of the National High School Rodeo Association's Western Legacy Series in 2023 and 2024. If you're interested in becoming a broadcast sponsor and advertising your business to the most loyal group of viewers in the country, you won't find a better opportunity. Call us today to claim your spot, 307-789-8116. That's 307-789-8116. We're off to the rodeo.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tire's broadcast booth as we are in the middle of the Independent Software Solutions postgame show. It is time for your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. And for that, the Rebels dropped the first set 25-23, 25-22 in set number 2, and they dropped the penultimate set 25-19 as they had a pretty good showing. You know, you get swept and you think that you played terribly. I wouldn't say that's the case for the Rebels. I mean, Star Valley is going to be a very competitive team in the 4A, which that's also one thing you got to remember about this Cokeville tournament is you're not necessarily playing schools your size, and that's what I love about this tournament is a game like this is the ones that you get way better in. You could say the same thing about when Rich plays Lyman, when Rich plays Mountain View. Those are the types of games where for a small school like the size that the Rich Rebels are, they are very good at volleyball, and you need these games to really push you to get better. And I think the Rebels got better in this match as they looked very good. Just unfortunately, they drop all 3 sets. As when we come back, we'll have your post-game highlights brought to you by the town of Woodruff. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team on mylocalradio.com as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ. More of the Independent Software Solutions post-game show after this.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our rich rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth in the middle of the Independent Software Solutions post-game show on a 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball game. It is time for your Town of Woodruff post-game highlights as you are watching online at mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ. Rebels dropped this one 3-0. As we're going to go over some highlights for you real quick. Leading the way for the Rebels on the attack is Violet Taylor, 12 kills in the contest. Hannah Scott finishes with 6. Scott had an ace as well. Janie Wallenstein had 3 kills, 2 aces. Haiti Pugmire with 3 kills. Casey Wilson had a couple of kills and a couple of blocks to her name. As it's kind of surprising that when you see Casey Wilson, I'm not a tall person, so I can understand when someone's not tall, but she has got hops to pick up quite a few blocks last year and quite a few blocks this year, as she's a frontline player, very good at it, very explosive player. As the Rebels drop this one 3-0. And, you know, it's early in the season. These are the games you want to play early on. It helps you get better because there's only so much you can do in 1A volleyball if you're the defending state champs. I know that sounds like an arrogant statement, but there's only so many teams that can push you in 1A when you're as good as the Rebels have been historically. And that's why a Cokeville tournaments like the Richfield tournament, that's why I love seeing the Rebels playing them, is you get some legit competition. As you took on a 4A school out of Wyoming, and you hung with them pretty much through all 3 sets until the very end of that 3rd set. It kind of got away from the Rebels. But, you know, I'm not sure how Coach Wise is going to feel about this particular match and if they feel like they let one get away. But, you know, they got better in a real competitive match, and that's all you can really ask for here at the Cokeville Invitational. As we come back, we'll have your precision play of the game. As you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ. More from the Independent Software Solutions postgame show after this.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important. Scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
Back to the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on 98.3 KDQ. 3-0, the Braves defeat the Rebels as the Rebels suffer their first defeat of the year. As it is time for your Dr. McKay Franklin precision play of the game. For that, we're going to give to Casey Wilson's second dump set. She did a very good job of keeping her shoulders square to her teammates like she was going to fire off a pass. Instead, just flicks it over with that right hand. Very crafty play there by the senior, as that is our precision play of the game. When we come back, we'll have your player of the game calendar update, and we will let you know the rest of our broadcast schedule for the weekend as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. More of the Independent Software Solutions postgame show after this.
Whether you're having a great day or not, food always makes it better. Delicious, fresh-cooked favorites like a juicy cheeseburger, a thick raspberry shake, onion ring, fries, or a River Bridge soda. A grilled chicken wrap always hits the spot. And don't forget twisted ice cream cones. They never disappoint. Have the always friendly and helpful staff at the Crawford Trough, and you've got the perfect recipe for a perfect meal. Something tasty from the Crawford Trough always makes your day better. Stop in today. The Crawford Trough, Randolph.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It's time for your Crawford Troth Player of the Game on the Independent Software Solutions postgame show. As the player of the game for the Rebels, number 25, Violet Taylor, finishes with 12 kills in the contest, leading the way on the attack for the Rebels. As that is your Crawford Troth Player of the Game. As we're going to move along to our calendar update. As the Rebels have 2 more matches today, we'll try to keep you updated as they'll play 2 more games. They'll play Mountain View and Grace later in the day, as we'll have the updates for you in the Rich Rebel versus Monticello football game, which is going to be our next broadcast, as the pregame show for that will be at 3:30, kickoff at 4. That's the Summit Pizza pregame show, as tomorrow we will have every single Rich Rebels match they play. As if the Rebels are playing, I will be broadcasting. So tomorrow we will have every single Rebels game after not being able to get the next 2 for them, but we will be able to update you the schedule later in the day, as we don't know when the next game for either of these 2 teams are. Or excuse me, we won't know the next broadcast, as we will find out what the schedule will look like for tomorrow later in the day, as we'll try to keep you updated. As I'm Aaron Poling, thank you for joining us here. Early morning volleyball action for the Rebels as they fall 3-0 in sets over the Star Valley Braves, those sets being 25-23 in set 1, 25-22 set 2, in set 3, 25-19. Very impressive showing for the Rebels against a 4A Wyoming team. Sure, they're a little bummed they lost, but I thought they played pretty well. That's really all you can ask for. As until next time, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.